viewers to Northeast 8 Weekly News Roundup. Various civil society organizations (CSOs) have strongly condemned the alleged molestation of a Naga woman by juvenile co-passenger in a moving auto rickshaw on June 15. The victim, who arrived at Dimapur airport, boarded an auto rickshaw at Fort Mile, Dipupar, and asked to be dropped at the Kohima taxi stand. However, the driver, identified as Nur Islam of Nagaon, Assam, diverted towards Newland despite the woman's plea. The driver continued, during which she was allegedly molested by the co-passenger. Vihuku Village Council (VVC) clarified that the accused falsely claimed to be a resident of Vihuku and urged authorities to take strict action. Western Sumi Hoho WSH condemned the act, called it inhuman, and warned against the misuse of Sumi tribal identity. The civil society organizations issued statements expressing shock and outrage, demanding swift and strict action. The organizations highlighted the threat to women's safety and the need to prevent misuse of Naga identities. The Dimapur District Auto Rickshaw Drivers Union DDADU condemned the incident and stated that the vehicle had been hired by the accused. The union assured cooperation and action against the driver if found guilty. All organizations called for a thorough investigation, fast-tracking of justice, and stricter enforcement of identity verification to prevent similar crimes in the future. Two major Nagaland-based political parties, the ruling Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party (NDPP) and Naga People's Front (NPF), have strongly criticized the Union Home Minister Amit Shah's recent comment that those who speak English will soon feel ashamed. Calling the remark unfortunate, both parties highlighted English importance in India's multilingual context, especially in Nagaland, where it serves as the official language and a crucial medium in education, governance, and global engagement. The NDPP stressed that English has played a key role in Nagaland's history for over a century, while also advocating for the preservation of indigenous languages. It said English helps bridge communities within India and globally, especially for Nagaland's youth who have benefited from the language in education and employment. The NPF meanwhile said Shah's comment was divisive and disappointing given his national stature. It emphasized that English has united India's diverse population by serving as a neutral language in a linguistically fragmented nation. The party noted that English had empowered millions, particularly those from rural and marginalized backgrounds, to access global opportunities. Both parties affirmed that promoting native languages should not come at the cost of demeaning English, and call for a spirit of inclusion, mutual respect, and national unity through linguistic plurality. Aliawati Lonkoma, currently the charge d'affaires ad interim at the Embassy of India in Paraguay, has been appointed as the next ambassador of India to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, also known as North Korea. The appointment was issued by the Ministry of External Affairs on June 16. He is expected to take up his new assignment in Pyongyang shortly. Hailing from Yangyimsum village, Mokokchung, Aliawati Lonkoma is the son of lead engineer and Tsukti Lonkoma and lead Thejano Lonkoma. Lonkoma's appointment comes at a time when India is seeking to maintain diplomatic engagement with North Korea amidst a complex geopolitical environment in the Korean Peninsula. As per the Ministry of External Affairs, relations between India and North Korea have been generally characterized by friendship, cooperation, and understanding. The Naga Students Federation NSF Inner Line Regulation Commission ILRC has urged the Nagaland government to provide an update on the 10-point memorandum it submitted on April 4, 2025 regarding strict enforcement of the Inner Line Regulation ILR. In a reminder to the State Chief Secretary, ILRC Chairman Sanchamo Anderson Nota, NSF Vice President, and ILRC Member Secretary CVR Vadio stressed the seriousness of the issues raised. The NSF said it does not wish to control the government but warned against the consequences of not implementing the ILP. Reaffirming the ILP's importance for Naga's socio-economic security, NSF said it is willing to endure any hardship for future generations while assuring cooperation with the government. The NSF said it remains resolutely committed to achieving full ILR implementation in Nagaland.